We're the voices of experiencers, and we are the experiencers of extraterrestrials. Just what's out there in the abyss, in the darkness of the unknown. It's time for disclosure and it's time for truth, because what lies in the darkness brings powerful transformation. We're the bridge between two different worlds, with one foot in this reality and one in the next. The shift is here, along with profound integration. Just who are extraterrestrials and what are their plans? It's time to find out with the Voices of Contact.
We are the voices of experiencers because we are the experiencers. It's time for disclosure and it's time for truth, because truth brings powerful transformation, and we are the voices of change. We are all about evolution on an expansive level, living life without fear and becoming the bridge between two different realities. Profound evolution is here. Profound integration is here. This is the Voices of Contact. Hi, everyone. I'm Mary. I'm a channeler and psychic medium. I'm also a hypnosis regressionist for ET experiencers, and I work with MUFON doing regression work. I also work with PTSD experiencers, paranormal experiencers, and victims of crime to assist them in recall. I'm really looking forward to another amazing show with our panel tonight, where we delve deep to find out what's happening beyond the stars. Thank you all for joining us as we take an extensive dive into the whole new reality. There is so much more out there than we realize, and until now, we have only scratched the surface. Come with us as we explore the darkness of the universe and shed some light on the extraterrestrial experience. Disclosure is here. Now, allow me to introduce some of my most favorite people who are part of tonight's panel. First, there's Deb and RJ DeRoos. They're authors, paranormal and UFO researchers, and they're experiencers themselves. They're founders of the Michigan UFO Contact that happens every year in Houghton Lake, Michigan at the end of September. And they're also owners and managers of Mystical Awakenings Radio, Mystical Awakenings Vodcast on YouTube, and of the Mystical Awakenings Metaphysical Store in Houghton Lake, Michigan. Next, we have Deb Jordan Cobble, aka Deb 2. She was the central figure in Bud Hopkins' international bestseller, Intruders, The Incredible Visitations at Copley Woods, which was made actually into a CBS miniseries in 1992. She's co-author of the book Abducted, The Story of the Intruders Continues, and author of Extraordinary Contact, Life Beyond Intruders. She's a former Indiana MUFON investigator and co-founder of her own paranormal group, Paranormal Underground. And she also hosts the Midwest Paratalk podcast with co-founder Greg Cable. And then we have Dana Stricker. She's a born psychic medium, and she has been reading professionally since the age of 15. And while she excels in her psychic and mediumship ability, Dana is also known for her exceptional skills in remote readings. And she's also known and very well established as a medical intuitive. She has also discovered that extraterrestrials now assist her with this special ability. She reads professionally worldwide and has worked nationwide on numerous missing person cases. With the amazing panel that we have tonight, I know that anything is possible and that we are going to get deep down into discovery and find answers to what is really going on out there. This show is all about transmutating the light from the dark and replacing fear with knowledge. Because with knowledge comes true power. And through my regression work, I have come across amazing cases with fascinating clients. And it is my honor to work with them to help them have a better understanding of the contact they've had. Whether they were taken, have had contact in the physical realm, or through a dream state, we're here just to find answers. I'm blessed that my clients have agreed to allow me to use the regressions on the Voices of Contact. And tonight, this is the place to be, because the panel breaks down my clients' experiences, providing powerful feedback. And I love it because all the listeners get to connect and learn. I get to learn, and the person that was regressed walks away even more immersed in their experience with a whole new perspective on their contact. So literally, it's a win-win, right? This is the Voices of Contact. Hi, everyone.
Hello, folks.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi,
How's it
Mary. Hi,
going?
Dana. Hi, Deb. Hello,
Howdy.
Thursday.
It was a very fast week, but it's going.
Howdy.
We like it when the weeks go fast.
Yes, indeed.
Not at my age.
True. Slow that time down a bit for us.
Well, this
Okay.
show is a continuation of last week's show. So if you remember, where we left off was he felt himself floating up to the sky, and he went through the light, and on the other side of that light were men in black. And so I had him ask what the men in black were doing there, and they said that they were guardians of the human race. So we kind of pick up from where we left off there, and I asked, why they're guarding the human race. So that's what we find out in the first clip.
Very good. Because this is all I've been able to think about.
I know.
It's crazy.
It's the first time I've ever heard of the men in black depicted in this kind of light.
Yeah.
So I'm curious as to, the different angle of it, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here.
And where are you?
Right here.
And where is here?
The nature of thought.
And where are you going to be going?
Plans? I don't know, but it's like plans and consequences.
And what do you mean by that?
Forcing a temporary move.
Ask the men in black for me why they are guarding the human race.
There's speculations that we've been tampered with and soiled. What's the word? That we're not what we were supposed to be, been tampered with.
Who have we been tampered with by?
Well, that doesn't surprise me one
We're
bit.
not what we're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
We've been tampered with. We're tainted.
Yeah,
It's not the first time we've heard that. It's just in a different
No.
way.
Right. Yeah.
it sounds like he's in between a life. In that he says there's plans and consequences, and okay, we're going to make a plan, but the consequences are this is going to happen. This is going to happen in your life, and if you take option B or the door, or, whatever, these are the consequences of doing that. Because it sounds like he's in between, maybe life.
And that's what it kind of felt like, in the last one, where, okay, so he's getting ready to reincarnate, but first he has to be processed through the men in black.
Yeah, yeah.
Because when I asked him where he was, he just said here.
Yeah, no, I had to close my eyes so I could hear better because I was having a hard time hearing him at first, and I thought that's what he said was here.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
Like, that was a dumb question, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah. And then didn't he say we're being, I don't know if it was we or he, being forced into a temporary move?
No offense.
That was my phone again.
Oh,
Dana?
It keeps doing weird things.
Dana's over here messing with our heads.
At least I'm fessing up and not being like, no, it wasn't me.
True.
And I
Yeah.
think so. It could be being forced into like a temporary move where, okay, so this is your next life and this is where you're going.
Right.
It's all temporary, right?
Yep.
True.
I just can't get my head around the fact that the men in black are the good guys or the caretakers or whatever, because my own personal experience with them hasn't been that way. And I've heard other people, but so it's kind of weird that it's like that. That doesn't mean
Well,
that it's not right. I'm just saying.
yeah. They also
Maybe there's different sides of the men in black.
they keep you in check, you know, and they probably your experience. They're probably trying to make sure you don't come out with a whole lot, you know. They watch what you do. They watch what you say.
Can we ask Deb what your experience with them has been?
Well, on a couple of different occasions. One was when we, after the mark in the yard, while we were gone, we got a call from our neighbor. She's like, there's a dude in your backyard. He's driving a black sedan. He's wearing a black suit and he's carrying a big black satchel, and he's down there messing around with that mark in your yard. And I'm like, no, we didn't. No, we weren't expecting anyone. We got back and he was gone. And then I lived on Washington Street, and after I moved out of my parents' home, and I got a knock on the door one day, and there was a young man there dressed in a black suit with a nice tie, very clean cut. And I thought he was one of those, Jehovah's Witnesses or something at first.
Yeah.
But no, he said, which was a lie. He said he got my name and address, or he got my address from Bud Hopkins, which I knew wasn't true because Bud would never do that.
Right.
And he said he had one question he wanted to ask me about the phone calls that I got every week when I was pregnant with my youngest son. And he asked me a question about it, and I answered him. And he said, "Thank you for your time," and he left. And I'm like, "What was that?" So, I mean, it wasn't like, threatening. Now, other people I know who've had men in black, like quote unquote contact, have felt threatened by them. They were just like gathering data or something, So I don't know. It just feels a little weird to me that they would be caretakers, but that's just, I can only speak for myself. So
The second one, did you see how he arrived and how he left?
I cannot remember. To be honest with you, I cannot remember. And I know where the house I lived in, when you're standing on the porch, you can see the driveway, but I don't remember seeing a car in the driveway. So I'm not quite sure about how to answer that. So
yeah.
And I opened the door. I mean, it was day. It wasn't dark night, and it was a different time too. So, I mean, I opened the door because this was probably 35 years ago, and he was nice, clean cut, no problems, but I knew he was lying the minute he said he got my address from Bud, and I continued to go with it, see what he had to say,
Right. But what a weird question.
Yeah, very strange. Just that one question's all he had. And I answered it because, me, I'll just tell anybody anything that wants to listen. I'm not
hiding a thing. Yeah.
I ain't hiding nothing, but, so that was my experience with men in black, so to speak,
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I can definitely see them checking out that thing in your backyard. That's for sure. And
then that was before Intruders was even written.
Right.
That was at a time when the UFO investigative world was just becoming aware of the case.
Well, and that's why I was interested what your experience was, because 30 years ago, I feel like a lot of this information, we weren't ready for it to come out yet.
Mm-hmm.
And now, disclosure is here.
Yeah.
They're also
still a lot of people that aren't ready for it to come out yet.
Well, people, but I mean, overall, universally, ETs, I think that, there's a timeline here.
Yeah.
So
it seems like there's an interdimensional aspect to this too, right?
Totally.
Yeah. And maybe it is timelines and
this is all so interesting.
Yep.
So interesting.
I'm interested to hear what the next clip's going to say.
So this isn't someone you know real well from last week, what you said, but I'm just wondering, the way he talked about temporarily, being sent somewhere. I'm wondering what things have been like for him. Has he dealt with a lot of depression? Does he feel like he doesn't fit in? I don't belong, that type of thing. So, can I talk to him?
I'm sure he'll reach out.
Good.
Deb has another child.
I do. I just adopt them. That's how I ended up with the name, the Michigan Paramama.
Here, Mama.
Yep. It's okay. I'll take it. I can't help my heart.
I know. I know what that's like.
Yeah.
All right. So for this next clip, I ask, just who has been tampering with us.
It doesn't say specifically that there are those who wish to do us harm. I want to know specifics. It starts with the M. Maine.
Is this a human race or is this an alien race?
It's alien. It's a weird word. It looks like migraine or migrator. It's a weird word. Not anything I've mitigate. Like, I've never heard it before.
Okay. And so what happens next?
We're in danger of losing all our feeling.
We're in danger of losing all of our feeling?
Yes.
And what do they mean by that?
I swear to God, Mary, you sound like you're 12 in these
Yeah.
videos.
That's why
It's really weird on this.
Yeah.
For sure.
So this has got me thinking. There's a race of grays called the Almaut, and
Never heard of that.
I've dealt with them a few times in my dreams, but I hope it's not them. Jeez. Anyway, and we're in danger of losing ourselves. Maybe the AI thing is. Did you hear that? People, is that me talking about?
I've been hearing you talking all night.
Every time, audience, if you've ever seen Dana go like this, and I'm usually looking at RJ, it's because I'm hearing some of those mumbles or voices.
Yeah.
Instead of just busting in and saying, "Did you hear that?"
I'm
going to
hearing
do
this too.
this because I could hear it happening last weekend.
I'm doing this to let her know that I hear it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're all going. We're not crazy. No.
Yeah. But that's weird because he said that the people that are against us is the ones that start with M, right?
Mm-hmm.
M.
Mantis.
Military.
Military.
Yeah.
I've got another one, but I won't say it. Yeah, if it's not a word he's ever heard before, though, that could be a name of a species that we don't know. I mean, RJ might, because he's the encyclopedia here, or Deb.
Well, I'm going to have to go back and look. I'm going to have to go back and look and check it out. That
right.
We have, right?
Yeah. Yeah. This whole regression is just.
It's pretty intense. This is one of the more intense but cool ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's definitely different than we're normally used to dealing with.
Right.
I think there's information coming out here that's really deep.
Well, I feel like we're going to get some new information from him. I mean, I've been feeling that. I was even feeling that last week. But it feels like he's in a little bit different place. I don't think he's... I think I asked you, Mary, are we going to subconscious? And And I know he's not supposed to be there, but his voice is different to me than it was last week.
Yeah,
Last week
it sounds
he
a little
sounded
bit.
very young and all that. Now he
He
sounds
kept
older.
on going deeper and deeper.
Okay.
Yeah, he went very deep. So like for this next clip, I don't remember. I don't know if you guys remember when I talked about what I channeled for him
Yes.
Yeah.
before we did the regression, and I picked up on a tall man with a long beard. So I want you to keep that in mind when you listen to this next clip.
Okay.
And it's not RJ.
I was
Look,
just going to say that.
I guess I'm not talking.
No,
I
but
was
I was
reading
seeing
your-
Darth
I was
Vader
reading your
saying, "I am your father."
Guys, where's Maury Povich when you need him?
The one pursuit of evil is to cut off the source.
And now what's happening?
The waterfalls.
You see the waterfalls again?
Yeah.
And what are you going to do next?
I'm in a hot air balloon.
And where are you going in the hot air balloon?
Over the waterfall, and now I can see a big clock tower.
And what else do you notice?
People dancing. He says, "This is what I'm showing you."
And so who's with you now?
I thought it was that gray, but it's like a man. It's the same. It's the same presence as the gray, but it's like a dude with a beard. Like
Is he tall or is he short?
he owns the hot air balloon. He's taller than me. He looks like a hot air balloon owner, like a mustache and a top hat.
Ask him for me how you know him.
We built this place together.
And what is it that you built?
The clock tower.
What's the purpose of the clock tower?
And he says I misunderstood him. We built this place together. The clock tower and everything. And I'm feeling like he's not talking about that I built the tower, but more like creating reality kind of thing.
There's no place like home.
Yeah, I know. I went to the Wizard of Oz right away with the dude in the hat and the balloon,
Mhm.
And the clock tower.
And then I went to, Back to the Future with the clock tower thing. Remember that?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the closest his brain can assimilate what actually he was seeing
Right.
to, you know what I mean?
So I'm assuming that this has something to do with time travel.
That's what I was thinking too, Deb.
That's what
The
that's
clock
what
tower
where
is
I meant.
significant.
Yeah, that's what I gathered. And that's sometimes I remember things in metaphors that what I actually remember isn't literally what happened, but I'm supposed to figure out this riddle or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that's why I kind of go that way sometimes.
Right.
You know
Good
what?
job on the man there.
What really bothered me? You remember the first thing he said in this clip? Cut off from the source.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, that bothers me because you cut off from what the creation or what?
Creator.
Yeah, creator. Yeah. So
Well, and that's what he was talking about. The whatever's tampering with us. Obviously, it's evil, and that's what its goal is to cut us off
from the
from
source. Yes. Yeah. That disturbed me.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like steampunk, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And it so reminds me of something that I was told. I sent you guys an RV video that they remote viewed some of my experiences. And one of the remote viewers told me that there was with one of my experiences was a time traveling, and that there were bad actors that were slipping through time and creating the havoc here today for an intentional purpose, and that we have to fight them in a different way, and it's all done dimensionally and sliding through time. There's bad actors that are jumping time and coming in here. So and that reminds me of, like, there's time travelers right here now doing bad stuff, making people do bad things.
Most definitely.
Because they want us to, they're trying to create an outcome that they want some timeline in the future. So they're here manipulating things now. So that's what I'm kind of getting, like what he's trying to say there. That's kind of a weird synchronicity too, because I just was discussing this last night. That's bizarre.
Wow.
But we have to remember this was in the past. So
right, but there's no time. There's really no past.
Right, that's true.
Well, I don't know.
True.
Is he's not still experiencing
Yeah, was he experiencing
when he was a little boy?
So what I'm saying is, I
that
think
would be
there may be people that watch this stuff that come in who people want, because we always grew up with the fact that you can't go back and change time; it'll change everything. So
maybe
it might take your existence away.
Maybe
it saves us.
That's true.
Now.
And that's what I'm getting at. That maybe there are other people that came in and checked these people who are trying to do this.
Right.
You can change one timeline and then step into the next one where it's almost the same, but just a teeny weeny bit different.
Right. So, and I've heard this, that we've been given a chance to change the timeline to make this whole program we're going through right. So, hopefully that's the case.
I don't know. I feel like somehow this is connected to this guy.
Yeah.
I'm being told
that guy?
No.
So we're going to find out.
This guy. Okay.
Regressed, yeah. So let's keep going, Mary.
Are we going to find out who he is?
Grab your popcorn.
You're just dying to know who he is, aren't you?
We try. In the next one, I ask, more about who he is. And they give a little bit, but I think, again, it's one of those things where as he evolves in his progress of finding his answers and his development, he will get more answers. But for this next clip, I ask again who he is.
Okay.
Ask him who he is to you.
It says ancestors can be anybody you know. That we're all family.
That we're all connected.
And he says, you're right. He just said Mary's with us too.
Mother Mary?
Yes.
Okay.
No, he's talking about you, Mama Mary.
Talking about Mama Mary?
Yeah.
All right. And so, where does he take us next?
He says the great wide open.
And
Time to create.
And what are we going to create?
A better future.
Ask him what's the best way we can do that.
He told me to keep doing what I'm doing.
Okay. Then what happens next?
Mama Mary.
Told you so.
Interdimensional superstar.
Mama Mary, Mama Mary.
Did someone see this coming or what?
When I asked the question, I'm like, Mother Mary?
Like as in the Virgin?
Like,
no, the other one.
yeah.
No, the other one. Nice. I didn't say that,
Mary.
Mama Mary. That was Deb.
Yeah. No, that was Dana. That got me really in the heart too. My heart chakra's like crazy with this whole regression. But it's like I just wanted to scream, we are one. We are one. And I mean, it's just so, to some of us, it's so obvious. And we just want everyone to realize, and they want everyone to realize, and they're helping him to bring that to us. We are one.
Even the bad ones that want to shut off the
Yeah.
source.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I
I mean,
mean-
eventually they come around, but so this whole thing is this person that he is showing him that we have been tampered with, we're tampered with, and these people are doing this, but yet we're all one, and there's a better way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Keep doing the work.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
That's the law of one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and if we all focus on, the positive instead of dealing with the infiltrators, then we stay one and we continue raising that vibration.
And we block them from being able to do what they want to do
Yeah.
Right.
because our minds are powerful.
But some choose to go one way and some choose to go the other way.
Right. So is this a person, Mary, who
She's not giving up on it with this.
This is like Simon Says, 20 questions.
Yeah.
yes, who uses his voice? Will he get this? I mean, we are getting this out, no doubt. But
I think he is. I think he likes to have those deep conversations with people because, he made the comment of, wanting to connect with more people that are like-minded.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
That have those deep conversations.
Awakening. Yep.
Okay, good.
Like we all are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I still want to know where the heck he's at too, but I'm not going to ask that one anymore.
Like I said, he wants to know who this.
And now you're connected, Mary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mama
absolutely.
Mary.
Mama
Mhm.
Mary.
You're in
Yep,
Mama
it.
you're
Mary.
Mama Deb and Mama Mary, the guys surrounded by mothers.
Yeah. Poor guy. Yeah.
Deb,
Yeah.
don't say it. I know what you're thinking.
Mate?
Which one?
Yeah. I'll tell you later.
I think I know what she's saying.
Yeah.
You mean that word I use like a comma?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I heard you.
Oh. Okay, so are you going to find your connection here, Mary?
I don't know. Guess we're just going to have to wait and see and find out. I think a part of it, and as we move forward, we'll tap into the subconscious together. But just like when I talked about it last week, and we tapped into the subconscious, I was talking to ET again, and they were giving me answers, and it really, at least I would say through 2 or 3 different people I've talked to the same species, and there's a connection there. And I've even each time I always ask if it's the unknowns, because I've worked with people who tap into those too. And they always laugh at me and they say, no, but you've asked us that before.
Yeah.
So I think eventually I will come to who I'm speaking with. I have my guess. I think it's more reptilian than anything else. Only because when I've had my own experiences, that's what I experience.
Yeah.
But who knows? All you can do is keep on trucking along.
Yeah. It's a good one.
The suspense continues.
Mm-hmm.
Deb Cobble, did you just have a weird noise in your house?
Yeah.
Thought so. I heard it.
I don't know.
You
what
heard
it
the
was.
noise too?
Yeah, it was behind me in
Yeah,
my
it was.
office somewhere, but
It was
I'm not
behind
sure
you
what it
in the
was.
office. I'm pretty
Like a
sure
knob
not at
or
your
something.
house. But
It's weird.
yeah, it was weird. Everything's weird on this show.
It's
And
always
that's
better to have
perfect.
it behind you so you can move on.
Well, unless it's secret from behind her. That's not so cool.
At least the camera's on, so if something going
Yeah,
on,
we can
y'all
see
can
it.
see
Warn ya.
Yeah.
So Deb, too, do you have connection with the reptilians as well?
Moi?
Yeah, moi.
You are.
I don't consciously. It's kind of weird because, again, when they remote viewed that one event when I was in '78 with the black box, they notated the alien or the silicone, as they call them, the grays, and they noted the humans that were behind the scenes that were not very nice. But at one point, they said that like a mantis like being ran through the room, but he was cloaked because it was like wavy looking through heat kind of cloaking as it ran through. I don't remember seeing it. And it's weird because my older sister has reported several more contact with the mantis like beings than the grays. But you'd think we're sisters from the same family, we would be reporting the same stuff. But it's like two different groups of whatever they are have like latched on to each of us. It's kind of weird.
Or those groups work together.
And we don't know it. Yeah. And I'm not aware of it. So, and as far as reptilians, no, I haven't had any known contact with anything reptilian as far as I know personally.
Okay.
You have.
I have, yeah.
Yeah. Hell, I might have met some and don't even know it because that's what I hear anyway. But nope, not to my knowledge.
Okay. Interesting. I'm just trying to connect all the dots here.
Mine are the gray things and the ones that look like people, and some energetic stuff. So
Yeah.
Like light beings?
yeah.
Okay. I was just, I was curious because that came up, and that's kind of what, Mary has connection with. And then you have something behind you. So I was trying to connect the dots.
I don't know. They could be there looking around and checking it out. I don't know.
Yeah. Like the mantis that hangs out behind Dana.
There's no mantis behind me.
He's nodding his head right now.
Yeah, I'll give you a nod.
Dana, don't come to Kokomo because downtown Kokomo has like a 12-foot metal sculpture of a praying mantis in the middle of town. Don't ask me why. But
Road trip.
Delightful.
I'll send you a picture. I'm not kidding. It's huge. Kids climb up on it and take their picture on it.
Why?
I don't know why.
Are you known for mantis, like the insects down there for some reason?
Not necessarily. I mean, in probably 10 years, I've seen like 3. So don't ask me why, but I'll send you a picture. You'll love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
He and Mandy said that the one was cloaked and ran, or was it you, Deb, that said
that was me.
One? It was you.
Yeah.
A cloaked mantis.
Yeah, your worst nightmare.
Their little funky burlap robes are.
No, I mean cloaked like you can't see them.
Like an invisibility thing.
Yeah.
Like those groovy little cloaks they wear. Like I'm never able to tell you're not a mantis when you have that groovy little monk coat on.
What is that movie they said it was like?
Well, they don't look as ugly anyways when they kind of cover it up.
You're being hypnotized to say no, they are not unattractive. And they have like mind control, I'm convinced. They'd have to with me because I'd be like screaming bloody murder to get the hell out of my room.
Yeah, reptilians are really good at somatics. Yeah, they
can make you think that they're your best.
Yeah, shape shifting and everything.
I wouldn't be surprised to find out that this man who's being regressed has some contact with them.
Yeah.
That's because you like them.
But doesn't it seem like this is getting a little better for him? He's starting to talk about some more positive stuff.
See, what this brings me back to, and I don't know if you guys will remember it, but there was a regression where when I tapped into the subconscious, it was straight ET just talking to us.
Yeah.
Right. And at
Yeah.
the very end, he had a message for me, and he said, soon I'll be working with you through somebody else.
Yep.
Oh,
And I asked him who, and he'll say, you'll know.
that's right.
I actually remembered this last week when I said you're connected. There's a connection.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Very interesting.
So here's your person. Here's your, yeah.
That's weird.
I love it.
Everything's connected. So for this very last clip, I was curious as to where the gray that was with him last week in the very beginning, like, all of a sudden, where did he go?
Yeah.
Good question.
I see somebody hit a baseball, like a home run.
Where did that gray go?
He says he's leaving me behind.
He's leaving you behind? Why is he going to leave you behind?
So I'm not a threat.
What would happen if you were a threat?
He's like trying to tell me that bad things don't happen to the ones who are a threat, but they're like handled or neutralized.
So they're just handled differently?
Like whispered or silenced in a way where they don't even know it's happened. And I kind of wonder if he's talking about that having happened to me, like if I'm no longer a threat because I've been handled.
Ask him. Ask him if that's what he means.
He said, no, I'm one of the good ones.
Ask him if you are human or extraterrestrial.
He immediately said that I should have known I never called myself this. He said I should have known I was a starseed since I was a child.
Does he know which galaxy you're a starseed from?
He said the gaze of the Sphinx. I can see the Sphinx. And I can see, like, it's just the Sphinx and one star in front of the Sphinx's face way out in the distance.
Do you know which constellation the star is at?
I think it's Regulus.
Oh.
So
Regulus.
a little bit closer. And I think...
Did you? I just heard a voice say Regulus.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you hear it?
Yep.
It was, that's in Orion. So it's,
And if you remember correctly, the other regression that I did was I had that one experience where the craft landed in my neighbor's yard, and he pointed to where I was from. And then I did that one regression with a woman, and they said she's not from here. And I said, well, where is she from? And then she opened her eyes and looked straight at me and said, Orion. And I hadn't told anybody that experience at all.
right.
So.
And you're getting it again. And I have goosebumps.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
You know, my understanding of people talking about the Orion system, there's all kinds of different species there. You know, there's reptilians, there's the Orions, and some Pleiadians, and it's just you know what I mean. And look at our structures here on Earth is connected to Orion, like the pyramids, the Orion's belt, everything else. So definitely there's a connection there for this planet. Also the Pleiades, you know, in Mexico where they have those pyramids, they are set up like the Seven Sisters from the Pleiades, which is in the constellation Taurus.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making my mysterious face. I can see myself in the camera
I
keep
know.
hearing lots of chatter during this. this
Mhm.
pod to everybody. So if you're gonna play it back again or something, see if you catch what we are catching every time I point to my ear, or like Deb gave
I
it.
blurted it out because I
I
was
just
like,
heard regulus.
no, I heard it say, and I'm like, what the?
Yeah, there's like lots of stuff
What
coming
the hell
through.
was that?
I
We've
can tell you
graduated from just the tapping now
I
into
know.
when the people were doing the regressions for the law of one channeling,
these.
they were getting a very negative interference from the Orion system. They were trying to put a squash on that. So, but I'm not saying everybody from the Orion system is that way, but they were getting some real negative stuff from that SR system.
Yeah. Yeah, and the whole silencing and neutralizing those who are not good.
Or just
That-
freaked out, maybe.
That's pretty interesting. And I wonder if they take requests. No.
I have a list.
I do too.
I have a list.
Take a number.
It's
I found
the
it
same
very
list I
nice.
made when I did this.
Yeah.
You know, my understanding is they're not supposed to really mess with that type of thing. So, yeah, that's got my mind going a little bit crazy.
Unless that's why we were born here.
I was gonna say
Some of
everybody's
us
always
are
like,
warriors.
yeah. Sometimes you, yeah.
Yeah.
Bam.
I'm
Yeah.
pushing back.
His regression is awakening for everybody. And it sounded like he's never thought of himself as a star seed,
Uh-huh.
but it comes out. So he's a little bit them, a little bit us, or you know what I mean?
He said the gaze of the Sphinx, right? The
Uh-huh.
gaze. And they say the Sphinx was a lion head originally, but then it was carved out to something else. But
Right.
that meant it might have been built in the age of Leo, and it was facing Leo. I don't know. There's controversial things about that. So
Right.
Well, I Googled Regulus and it said it was the brightest star in the zodiacal constellation Leo and one of the brightest stars in the entire sky.
oh, it's in Leo.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
what it
Okay,
says.
so-
That's what Google says.
So forget what I said. Yeah, that was just remember just what I said was that it had a lion on it. It was facing
Right. That's
Leo.
why I'm like, wait a minute.
when it was built.
Yep.
I always thought Regulus was an Orion, but no. So there you go. That makes perfect sense then about the Sphinx.
Yep.
So was he saying that's where he's from?
Yes, that's as much as they would give me.
Okay.
So
I want more.
when we looked it up, we found, with Leo too, with some kind of connection to Orion.
So let me ask you this. I think every age is about 2,000 some years. Now we're in the age of Aquarius. We were in the age of Pisces before that. So it goes backwards, like counterclockwise. So we're talking 2, 4, 6, 8, we're talking Leo. In the age of Leo would have been 12 some thousand years ago. Maybe that's when it was built, about 15,000 years ago.
He's an old soul.
That he is.
Jeez. So, I mean, this is really, really, really a good one.
Yeah.
Are we going to continue with this?
We are. The next time we'll tap into the subconscious part.
Good.
Yay.
Okay. It's going to be a long week again. The weeks between are hard.
I know, because you got to wait.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay.
What is Regulus? Does it say more about it? Is it a big star, Jeff? Or?
It's the biggest one in the sky, they
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. Bigger than Sirius.
I don't know. I'm just what Google says.
Okay.
Google says it's the brightest star in the zodiacal constellation in Leo of Leo, and one of the brightest in the entire sky. So it's one of the brightest in the entire sky, not necessarily the brightest.
So we need to find out. Our listeners tell us who was that said that.
Say what?
Regulus.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
I mean, it blasted in my headphones, and it was not any of us, and it was not feedback, and it was not human.
Right.
I think it was him and his regression.
Really?
Yep. It just, his voice sounded different when he said it.
Well, there you go.
Because that's how we looked it up. That's why we started looking it up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It just sounded different than the rest of it.
For sure. Well, so did you. I mean, you sound like you're 12 and all of it.
Yeah, well, that's the first thing I noticed when she
going on with
started out.
that?
Last week when I first heard her voice, it sounded like she was a kid.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm channeling my female ET.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe you're regressing. No, I'm just
Yeah. And it's interesting. Are we going to find out more about your connection with this?
Yeah.
I don't know.
yes, you do.
He'll have to decide if he comes back to work with me.
Oh, okay.
So
I hope so. If he's listening, please do.
Yeah.
We want more.
Yeah. Well, this has been very interesting, and I think
Yeah.
our audience is going to love this. So, yeah.
Well, he's getting some really good information.
mm-hmm.
Getting a lot of chatter coming through this whole podcast too.
Yeah.
4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something going on with that, I feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we always get something, noises, things like that, but this has been
This
different.
is more than normal.
Last week.
Yeah, the Morse code tap the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
As it happens right now.
It's time for the expansion.
Disclosure is here.
Mm-hmm.
We're there.
Just like
All right. That's all we have for tonight.
Okie doke.
Thank you, Mary, and thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
The person regressed. We really appreciate you.
Definitely.
Have a good night, you guys.
Bye, everybody.
Love you all.
Bye. Goodbye.
Bye.
We're the voices of experiencers, and we are the experiencers of extraterrestrials. Just what's out there in the abyss, in the darkness of the unknown. It's time for disclosure, and it's time for truth, because what lies in the darkness brings powerful transformation. We're the bridge between two different worlds, with 1 foot in this reality and 1 in the next. The shift is here, along with profound integration. Just who are extraterrestrials, and what are their plans? It's time to find out with the Voices of Contact.